Everybody, and welcome to live stream number 25. Today is Wednesday. It is July 12th. A rainy day here in upstate New York. A little bit of thunder coming through. So there you have the weather forecast. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's live stream. Just gonna give it a couple of minutes just to get a couple of people in here joining today's topic. What is in regards to easier with layout sketches. So I want to talk a little bit about sketching and how you can utilize that. Now, as always, if you look down the description area, you will see my email address, lars.christensen@autodesk.com, and you are definitely more than welcome to send me any future topics you would like to me to cover here on the live stream. I know that a bunch of people have asked me a bunch of questions on my email. I try to answer them all, but I try to answer questions after work hours, so it's a little hard to catch up. So if you're one of the ones who've sent me an email and still haven't gotten an answer, sorry. I'm working on it. I'll get back to you at some point. But yeah, so today's live stream, it is number 25, and we're going to talk about layout sketches. You can see we already got a bunch of people in here. I got Chad in here. We got people from Mexico. Seth is in here. That is awesome. Cool to see all you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to join today. Now, today is not only number 25, it's also on what I like to call Flashy Wednesday. And I know, I've got to come up with a better name with that. But flashy because it's just a quick little flash into I got some questions from some of you guys in regards to what YouTube channels do I follow, what products do I think are pretty cool. And last time, that would be 2 weeks ago, 2 Wednesdays ago, I talked about fifth axis work holding. I was talking about how their fifth axis vices that is meant for like these very expensive 5-axis machines actually fit wonderfully on smaller machines, like a smaller work envelope kind of thing. And I thought that was a great idea, people are using them like that. So that's what Flashy Wednesday is, either introducing you to a product that I really like, and I'm not endorsed, nobody's paying me to do this, or maybe, as today, more like product and a person. So some of you guys have already recognized probably on this side, the logo that I'm wearing today. Saunders Machine Works. So this is John Saunders Machine Works t-shirt, and if I kind of turn around, it's a little weird to do on a camera, but you will see that there is an image on the back. Actually, I took a picture of it so we can look at it a little bit closer here. So on the back here, you got a cool logo from Saunders Machine Works, and got an end mill machining here. So just what I wanted to just quickly talk a little bit about. So John Saunders Machine Works. Some of you guys might know his YouTube channel a little bit better, and that is CNC. So for you guys who have not maybe come across, if you search Fusion 360 on YouTube, I would imagine that you come through John's channel. But if you have not, this is your chance. John have done a lot of great things, and I want to keep this somewhat short. But one thing I want to point out is you should definitely subscribe to his YouTube channel. And he does a lot of things, including machining. But some of you guys are not into CNC machining. If you're into CNC machining, then John's site is awesome. But there is also, if you go into playlist, there's also in here something called Fusion Fridays. And here John gets more into the modeling inside of Fusion 360 and kind of like do tutorial type based. So his channel, NYCNC, is definitely something you should check out. Now, John also has a website. So NYCNC is kind of like his YouTube channel. But then he actually also have a machine shop that he built up. And he has a great story that you can definitely, I'm sure, can learn more on either via the YouTube channel or via his website. I met John numerous times. He's just as awesome in person as he is when you see his videos. Just great, great guy. Happy to call him, a friend. But if you look, so like I said, definitely sign up for John's YouTube channel. But if you go over to his website, saundersmachineworks.com, you will actually see that John does a few other things that I think you should know about. Now, if you go to products, first of all, I should probably click swag. You will see here that here is the t-shirt that I'm wearing. This is where I got mine. $20, and it was actually a great experience. Like, you get a bunch of updates. Your t-shirt has been shipped, it's arriving, and all that great stuff. But a couple of other things that you need to know about that John has is he creates these great fixture plates for Tormax. And they come in different sizes. And of course, here you can see the prices. There's also, I guess, some other thing, clamping kits. Now, I had a chance to look at these fixture plates when I went to John's open house a few months ago. Absolutely top-notch quality. So definitely one of the things that I would say looking at those is very nice made. So definitely recommend that you go in here and check out Saunders Machine Works website. Another thing I just got to point out is John also offers CNC training at his facility in Ohio. Got first class facility where you can go in, and I think it's like for a day or 3 days, and you can take literally on hand Fusion 360 and CNC training. If anybody on the live stream right now have ever been to any of John's classes, please throw it in the live stream in there. What you thought of it. So definitely check out John's channel, YouTube channel, NYCNC, and then check out his webpage too, because he got some really, really cool products in there. That was Flashy Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. All right, let's talk about Fusion. So today's topic is going to be about layout sketches. And this one here is one of those things that I think that if you're fairly new to Fusion, you maybe never really thought about using sketching for this, because normally when we are talking sketches, you're thinking like, okay, I gotta model up a part, and you always gotta start out with a sketch, right? But you can actually also use sketches to kind of like lay things out a little bit and kind of like control your layout. This is specifically handy, I think, when you're talking about like assemblies or something like that. So let me just give you a very simple example on what I'm talking about. So if I go in here and like think about like a pulley system or something like that. Many times when you're working and you're working with a design, and I'm just going to open a sketch here, and especially if you're working on an assembly style, you many times have kind of like a work envelope you got to work within, right? Like it's got to fit within some specific area. So one of the things to do is I just open up a sketch here. Is you can actually draw up. Well, let's make it a center maybe rectangle. Your work envelope, right? So maybe you have some kind of like a work envelope you got to be within. If you kind of like create that rectangle with the dimensions of this working space, that can be kind of handy. So now I kind of like just created a sketch box here, and it's just really reference geometry at this point. And I can work with some kind of like, this is my envelope that things got to fit within. And if you're thinking about like a pulley system, we might have a pulley here. So I'm going to hit C for circle. And I'm just going to sketch some kind of a circle here. Let's make it like 5 inches in diameter. Right? So there is a circle that is now completely underdefined. And let's maybe we make it horizontal to the center there. So now this circle can of course only work moving back and forth here. So we might want to control that with a dimension, and we could do that maybe from the center. Actually, let's do this instead. Let's put it right on the center. So let's do coincident between there and there. So now this pulley is here. Maybe we had a couple of extra pulleys. So let's do another circle. You can see how much I prepared for this. Do another circle here, and I'm just going to do, maybe we do one that is 3 inches here, and for the heck of it, let's do one over here too that is 3 inches. So I'm kind of like laying out within this workspace these different pulleys, and then controlling it with some constraints like you would normally do normal sketches. So just bear with me a second here, and I think that you can start kind of like following along what I'm doing. So let's add some dimensions between the center to here. So let's call this 575 maybe. Still in our working space, and we could actually call that one something else, but let's just for right now do that the same. Fully defined. So here's my kind of my pulleys, and I might want to draw. You're thinking right now, well, you probably need a belt between them. You could draw that in, so an alpha line, and if I just draw in a line here, here's actually something neat. If I zoom in, you see how it's trying to snap to the circle. See right there, it actually comes up with a tangent icon. So if I draw up there, tangent right there. So there's a tangency right there. Let's go over and create another line from here. See when the tangency appears. Maybe I shake too much on my hand today. Oh, it's probably past it over there. Tangency there. So I'm just adding these, it resembles of the belt here. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so there I got the half of my constraints. Now this is going to also be tangent over here. Here's one of my favorite ones. Select the line, hold down Control or Command on a Mac. Select the circle, right click, and the tangency is right there. So do the same thing over here. Hold down on the line, hold down Control or Command, select the circle, right click, tangency. So you don't have to move all the way over there. I told you before, I'm lazy. All right, let me just hurry this up here. Add the last constraints. All right, so we have 3 pulleys here, right? And the belt is just kind of like to resembling. And you can kind of control how detailed you want to be for these different layouts. So I might know that there's also going to be a bearing in here. So I might just, you know, add that into my design too, that I know my pulley is going to have some bearings. That's going to be the same on all of them in this case. Now, this is on the, I sketched all this on the front here. So this is kind of like the front layout sketch. Now, let me just stop this sketch. And one of the things I recommend you to do for sure is to name the sketches, or you will completely be lost. So I'm just going to call this front pulley layout. Now I'm going to go ahead and create another sketch. And I'm going to create that one on the top here. And now we can actually go in and kind of like draw another view possibly of these pulleys here. Now I can't select the pulley lines, I think. I'll try. Projecting, that's another topic we're going to talk about, projecting. Let me see if I can hit it. The pulley right there, there's one pulley. Oh. This is what I love about doing this live, right? No, you don't care. All right, I'm gonna give up on that because I have that layout line in my first sketch. I wanted to keep that box that's hitting that box there. We're gonna do something else. We are just gonna go ahead here and hit alpha line, and then I'm just gonna create, 3 construction lines instead. And that one, I didn't hit that one in there, like that. And let's go ahead here and select the lines, hit X to make some construction. Or maybe not today. There we go. And then I'm just going to do a couple of rectangles here. I'll just show you how I would do this. Now I'm going to do it quick because that other projection was not working. So what we can do here is we can do a midpoint to this line to here, and we're going to do the same thing here and the same thing here, and then I'm going to do a column here. Oh, see, I did actually get some of it here to no. All right, this is what I like about doing things live, because now you're gonna see that I also struggle. Why can't I do that? Somebody right now in the live stream are like, dude, just all right, I'm missing something here, guys. I can't move anything. I'm still in the layout sketch. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to look in to see if there's anybody saying anything. No, nobody's saying anything. All right. Well, it's bound to happen at some point that I'm struggling here. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to go into my original sketch in here. And do you know how I was talking about it was great to have a box around here? Yeah, that box just went away. That should actually not affect anything other than that. And let's get back into this sketch, and then let's do what I was kind of planning on anyways. I still have something. Oh, is it that? All right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, but I am just about ready to give up on this sketch, I can tell you that. Let's try one more time here. Open up on the front here. And then, now I'm going to do it differently. Now I'm going to try the project thing and see if I can pick up that edge for that pulley, and that edge for that pulley, and that edge for that pulley. And then, now I'm not confident what I'm doing anymore. And then go ahead here and create these top views. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And let's just drag this corner over here, and this one is gonna be to there, and this one here is gonna go in like that. All right, so project is definitely gonna make life a little bit easier. And now all I have to do is control the thickness of these pulleys. Jeez, that was a lot of work. I got to work today, so I'm gonna make them all just 1 inch thick here. All right, the layout sketches should not be that hard, I can tell you that. All right, so what I have now is I have the top layout we created, and I have the top here. And let me just go ahead and rename that top pulley layout right here. Now what I can do now, and this was supposed to look all smooth, but what we can do now is we have like these sketches created that kind of like where we have laid out what we know about this assembly. Now we can go in and create each component individually. So if I go in here and right click and say create new component, I can create the 3 components in here. And of course you should name those too. So if I go in here and create the first one, this maybe is going to be the center pulley, right? And now if I go in and I hit Q for project, right? So I'm using that layout sketch, but I'm working in this component, and I actually go in here and I say for a distance, instead of just going out a certain distance, I can actually say to object, and I can create that second top layout sketch that I had before. Okay, hit OK for that. And now you saw the sketches got turned off in here in your tree. That's actually a new setting. Turn them back on here. If you go to your preferences and you go into the sign, there's now a new option in here, auto hide sketch on feature creation. If you turn that one off, now the sketches is not gonna turn off when we create new component. So now I can go down to the next component, do the same thing, hit Q, and for distance, I'm gonna do up to object, select the top of the layout sketch we created. So that's pulley number 2, and let's go down and do pulley number 3 here, and send them out to up to object. Now here's the cool thing about this. Let me go back up and turn the upper assembly on here. Here's a little trick. If you right click on the sketches and hit show dimension, they actually appear right here in the, so right click on the sketches. Now here's why layout sketches are handy, is because I can now control all the components from in here via these sketches. So if I, for example, go in here, I can now say that this dimension here is going to be 2 and is controlling that. Or maybe I want to change the dimension for the center one to only be 3, and everything here are now updated depending on these different dimensions. This can be extremely handy, especially in kind of like in the layout process of things. Wow, I'm sorry that the top sketch caused me some problems. But this is great if you are trying to, if you have like a working envelope, you're trying to lay out kind of like an assembly or something like that, to use, sketch things up in the different views, and then you can control all your components from in that. Another example on this, and I was trying to make this the simple one, and then I goofed up, but that's all right. If you go and look, I just released this tutorial on my YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out step by step to do a plastic injection mold. And if you're watching that tutorial, you will see that this whole mold has a bunch of components in here, a bunch of hardware and things like that. But everything in here is controlled by layout sketches. So if I just go ahead here and I just selection set, that's another thing we got to talk about at some point. Let me just turn some of these components off. If I go in here, you will see that everything in this mold is driven, or every component in here is driven by these layout sketches in here. So anytime you make a change, if you do it in the sketches, everything populate through to the mold. So one of the most obvious things probably in here is if you're looking at the insert. So the upper and lower insert here for the mold. So in here, there is a couple of different things that is in here. There is water channels running in, there's some screw holes and some dowel holes, and it's all controlled through sketches. So it's controlled through, the coolant lines are controlled through these sketches, and the dowels and things are controlled through these sketches. And if you go in and update these, where these dowel hole locations are located for this lower insert, if you change where these dowel holes are, that will actually also update the lower mold plate where those dowels and screw holes are fitting through here. So these sketches are actually controlling multiple components from these sketches. So that was kind of like what I was hoping to show today. There, if you go in the YouTube channel, you should have seen that I just launched that tutorial for how to do a mold. If you go down the description area there, you will find a link to that entire data set for that mold. So you can go right now, you can download that whole plastic injection mold, and you can go in and kind of like see these layout sketches, see how they are, how I created them, and things like that. So layout sketches can be really great in kind of like the layout process of things when you're trying to kind of like figuring out what's going to fit within your design using these layout sketches, even if it's just as a kind of like as you're developing things, and then later on you can go in further and make things details. And like to go back to that pulley layout kind of example, you would later go into those individual components and add all the different details, right? Like there might be some cutouts, and you know, you got to make room for that belt and all that stuff. That would happen on a component level, but everything is driven by these layout sketches in regards to placement and working envelope. So I hope that that was helpful. About 25-minute mark, which is cool. 61 people watching today. That is absolutely awesome. I really appreciate it. Let me just check out in here, see what's going on in the live stream. I'm so appreciative of you guys showing up in here. Oh, I can see that, hey, cool. We actually had John Saunders in here. I don't know if he's still in there. He probably had something more important to do, get his machines running. Definitely go and check out John's YouTube channel if you have never done that, NYCNC, and also check out his cool webpage. He has some really cool stuff up there, including this cool t-shirt. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna do as I normally do here. I am going to end the streaming for the recording, and then I am going to jump into the live stream. Now, tomorrow, I got to talk about tomorrow's topic. Tomorrow's topic is tool libraries inside. So tomorrow is CAM. So if you're not interested in CAM, take tomorrow off. But tomorrow, I just wanted to kind of like go through the tool library, how I use it. I also got a question in regards to if it's possible to share one tool library with multiple users. So we're going to talk about that. That is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. So it's going to be 3 hours earlier than today's live stream. So that is cool. All right, guys, really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy day to join here. Don't forget, down in the description area is my email address. You can send me any specific topics you want. Also, there's also the link for the free CNC Handbook. Don't forget to go and get that one. So I'm going to end the recording and jump into the live stream. Until the next time, take care, guys.